Hello and welcome to today's news on Vanguard Life. My name is Damlola Ogushaki, and this morning I'm starting with Vanguard on the paper review. Vanguard is leading with Edo. Okpebholo wins as tribunal. Ighodalo heads to appeal court. Panel dismisses petition at Action Alliance, her court party. Okpebholo extends her olive branch to Ighodalo. While I will appeal against tribunal judgment that's coming from Ighodalo, we are surprised at tribunal's decision. We will study and decide. That's coming from PDP. It's an affirmation of mandate given to Okpebholo. APC scribe Basiru says you can see that story on page 5. And on page 8, Uromi killings. Resident allege indiscriminate arrest and extortion. Gridlock, federal government reopens Independence Bridge as Lagosians spent hours in gridlock. On sport, page 30, 2026 World Cup qualifier. Bafana may escape FIFA sanctions as according to attorney. And here there's a photo story here from left. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Minister of Judgment and National Planning, Atiku Bagudu, Finance Minister Wale Edun, Senator Abdul Ariz Yari, and National Secretary Advisor Noor Ribadu during as the president departed on a working visit to France at the presidential wing of Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, yesterday. And above the banner on page 9, Tinubu jets house to Paris on 14-day working visit. On page 19, Vanguard Economic Discourse, Inflation, Exchange Rate, Volatility, others full significant rates. Let's go according to Kali. On page 9, federal government boosts power generation by 2,000 megawatts in 2 years. That's according to the minister. And lastly, on Vanguard newspaper, more heads to roll in NNPCL, subsidiaries as Ojulari assumes duty. You can see that on page 20. Now, the Guardian newspaper. Guardian leading story says Ighodalo rejects verdict. Okpebholo's olive branch head to appeal courts. Tinubu turns to technocrat for higher oil production, asset maximization. Trump slams at 40% tariff on Nigerian exports. I can't steal to please you, Nigeria lawmaker tells constituents. Lastly, on the Guardian newspaper, Barrow shows justice for 16 slain hunters, donates 16 million naira to families. Now let's move to the Punch newspaper. Punch leading story says White Tinubu sacks Harry NNPCL board, that's according to officials. President asks Ojulari led 11-man new board to achieve 3 MPPD crude output, a $60 billion investment. And Edopo Ighodalo et for appeal court as tribunal affirms Okpebholo government. You can see that on page 2. And NNPCL raises a petrol pump price to 950 naira per litre. Away from there, we move to the nation. Nation is leading with Okpebholo extends olive branch to Ighodalo. Others, IOs from NNPCL as new board takes off. Expert chart way forward. You can see that on news page 4 of the Nation newspaper. And that's what we have on the front pages of the dailies. Join us after the break for a brief analysis of some of the stories. Welcome back. If you're just joining me, this is today the news on Vanguard Live. My name is Damlola Ogunshaki, and joining me to analyze some of the stories on the front pages this morning is Mr. Oludari Mayowa. He's the publisher of Global Financial Digest. Good morning, Mr. Mayowa.
Yeah, good morning, Damlola. Thanks for having me today.
Yes, and I hope the gridlock in Lagos yesterday did not affect you.
No, I escape it. When I know that they're going to close down the place, I avoid the island like a plague now.
Yeah, so people complain that they spent over 8 hours in the traffic.
My nephew that still just came back this morning for work.
Wow.
They returned from work this morning, yeah. Just came back this morning.
Wow. I guess the person won't be going back to work again.
Yeah,
because I saw people pleading on behalf of who were trapped in the gridlock yesterday. They were pleading on their behalf, give them today, let them rest wherever they are.
No, it would have been a very chaos for anybody to expect someone to come back to office after spending all days in traffic overnight. It's crazy. So And I hope, because even though the federal government say they have called up they want to reopen the place, they already scraped the entire thing. So the vehicle cannot even pass through those places. They already scraped that place. So ready for work. So how would they make it ready for vehicle to pass it? So it's needless for them to say they are suspending it really as it is now. And I think they need to find the other means, or probably closing one side of the road and making the other side available, so that, because the volume of traffic going to Lagos go through only 3 bridges, and those bridges are already congested with the level of traffic in Lagos.
Wow. We hope the solution will be found so that people will not be affected too much. Well, let's move straight to this. Let's move straight to the stories on the front pages this morning. And there's still Edo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja yesterday upheld the elections of Governor Monday Okpebholo of APC. The tribunal, in a unanimous decision by three-member panel, said it found no reason to nullify the outcome of the governorship contest held in the state on September 21, 2024. And the People's Democratic Party (PDP's) candidate of the Okpebholo said they are still going to the appeal courts despite the tribunal judgment. What's your take on this?
Thank you very much. Sometimes I'm not surprised about the judgment, because in Nigerian political space, it's very difficult for you to prove, to go to tribunal and actually win actually, especially coming from the judgment of the Supreme Court and the last presidential election, that you have to prove your case beyond reasonable doubt. So if you have, you can't use the incident in one location to determine what happened the rest. So you must provide each evidence for your desire, what you complain about, and providing that evidence, you will bring the evidence, bring your witness to corroborate your position. And it's very difficult to do that when the period allow for election contention. So for me, I don't expect less, and even going to the appeal court will just be meaningless for the opposition. So what this has opened up for opposition is that you make all attempt to win the election, either the cook or by means at the first ballot, knowing fully well that there's no way anybody can prove the case in the tribunal, and that's what it's going to probably encourage politicians to rig the election, to do all now to win at the ballot and get their INEC to announce them at the winner of the election, because it's going to be very difficult for you to prove malpractice in the election in this country based on judgment last year. 2023. So I'm not surprised. Going to a appeal court will probably not help Ighodalo and the rest. I even go to Supreme Court, because it's already been laid down for them what they need to do. And you are not to do at the preliminary court. How would they now? They are not going to put the appealing court. We're going to determine the case based on the evidence adduced at the lower court.
Governor he extended an olive branch, which is an offer of reconciliation to PDP party, a candidate Ighodalo, to join hands with him to develop the state, but of course he rejected the olive branch. What do you think about this? Do you think he should just accept it and, like you said, not go to the appeal?
It's not the politicians now. What do you expect? The governor will just put more his opponent. It's just short of mocking him. That's where I look at it. Just, you are mocking me, you have lost, go and sit down, that kind of thing. The only branch will just say pretentious way of saying you are lost, you are the winner. So come on, that kind of thing. And you know that won't happen. So you just put more the man. And that's where I look at those pronouncements.
All right, still talking about Edo State, the many residents of Uromi are still skeptical about what would befall them as life gradually returns to the town a week after 16 northern travelers are mistaken for kidnappers. Were killed by a mob, even as they accused the police of indiscriminate arrest and extortion. And it was evident yesterday, which was the market day in the town, and the ever busy mission where the biggest market is located was devoid of the heavy vehicular and human traffic associated with it. What's your take on?
Unfortunately, the killing was inhuman. is condemnable, really. Jungle justice, people taking laws to their hands, is condemnable. For me, I will never support such acts in whatever way, whatever gives, whatever reason, motive that informs that. But again, let's look at what has been happening in that location, that environment, and in that part of it. Those places have been, many people in the area have been victims of kidnappers, which are attributed to the herdsmen who invaded their farms, destroyed their farmland, and still kidnap them, kidnap their women, rape them, extort them with money, and the rest. And those are things, and the security agents are failing their responsibility to bring the situation to normalcy, to arrest these culprits who are engaging in this dastardly act in those areas. And we are seeing that growing, expanding in the southern part of the country and growing as a big market for herders, particularly herders have been fingered in this area. We are seeing videos, footages of why herders graze on people's farm. I saw one, I was almost crying. The flourishing maize farm, and they'll lead the cow to demolish, to destroy the farm. The person has labored, has invested to. So these are the things that are going on in that area. Many people have testified that kidnapping is so rampant in those areas. People are being killed, people are being raped, money are being extorted for people, and people are just asleep, doing nothing to. I mean, so for me, so when some group of vigilantes spotted people who are carrying guns and say they are hunters. Hunters from where? From where to where? Are they licensed gun to carry the guns around the place? With the background of things that happen around those areas. What are we expecting those areas is for them to arrest those people and hand them to the security agency. But again, somebody says, look, there are many people who have been arrested in such a way and handed to the security agency and they let go. That's happened here in Southwest here. They will arrest this elder man and they go and bail them out, and just that's the end of the case. No persecution, no deterrent, and the rest. So they are emboldened to continue their crime, and probably that's what motivated those you have to say to waste the life, the still life, which is unfortunate, which is not good, which is not right, which is not lawful. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I will want the government to take a holistic look at what has happened and use that opportunity to actually redress and secure those environments. If there's anybody in the bush, that I know some people in the bush that are terrorizing the people, please throw them out. Try them, prosecute them. It's not godly, it's not right for some people to come from nowhere and be invade a community, destroy their farmland, not allow them to go to farmland, and government is not doing anything about it. And what we see today, because I witnessed it, many years ago, is that you see the police that will post there is going to be police men in uniform who are from that particular area of the victim. So they will be doing it's like a revenge way. That's why we are going to have indiscriminate arrest. I remember what happened in 83 or so in Akure, in those states during the election after the massive destruction and the rest. The police post the what they call kill and go, that's the mobile police officer into the area, and there were people from the other part of the country, and they were brutal in the way they arrested people, bringing out doors, killing people like a revenge, is so to say. So government should really take hold of this situation, so I'm not allowed to generate to any situation. Arrest the situation, arrest the people suspect, and scrutinize them very well that they are innocent and not made to suffer for the evil of other people, so that we can bring a clear to this thing and ensure that security in those areas. People's lives are secure. People are afraid to travel on the road in those parts of the country today. People are afraid to go to their farm. And it's a duty of the security agent to arrest the situation and bring calmness to that community, not to aggravate it again. So I will appeal to them to do the right thing.
Some of the residents of the place accused police of extorting them. According to one of the residents, he said a person who just came back from the overseas was picked up by the police, and he was made to transfer 1 million naira through a POS before he was left to go, as he was threatening to be moved to Abuja. And most of them are saying that they are now tired. The police should go back to where they are from, because what they send them to do is not what they are doing.
That's unfortunate thing. We still remember the story of having a vision of a village in that Nigeria too, because probably they waylay some of them and arrest them. And the way they burn down the community, destroy their household, carry their men away, lock them up, and we have not gotten to the root of that today. So I think our security sometimes go overboard in the execution. They see those as opportunity for them to extort. They see opportunity to mangle, to destroy, to do other things against the people. And they are meant to protect the people regardless of what happened in those environments. Even the criminals have the right to find their day in the court to defend themselves. And I will appeal to the Inspector General of Police to caution their men, to put them in, so they can be professional in the way they conduct the search and in those areas, and make sure that they not overly brutalize the people or extort them, because it's not right. That's not the way what they said to go and do there. And those who are found to extort, they need to pay for it, because those money transfer can be tracked. It can be tracked. So the government must do the right thing. They ensure that the security people behave well. They behave professionally, so that the people will not bear the brunt of what they have not suffered. That's for me. It's a double jeopardy for people in Uromi and the environment who have been subjected to harassment, intimidation, extortion by the marauders, by the headers, by the killer, by the kidnappers. Only to again to the security people who they are paying through their tax money to be brutalizing them again.